2522.
On Go Live with Cairo Qween. This is Collabo Live 106.5 FM. I'm joined in the studio this evening by my liaison for iBroadcast Entertainment, Miss Judy Eccles, the lovely Empress herself.
Good evening, everybody. It is an honor and my pleasure to be here with you tonight, Queen.
Miss Judy, do you know we're going to be joined by some great people this evening? We're supposed to be joined by a Mr. Helmut Wolf out of Australia, Sydney, Australia. He's a music mogul that'll be calling in to join with us this evening, and he's going to talk about the math and science on our topic that we're closing out. We didn't get a chance. I want to thank all you for last week attempting to tune in. We had some unforeseen issues, but, you know, we were supposed to close up the conversation. What the hell is up with jazz music, the industry, and what's the Band-Aid? So this is going to be our final conversation on this weekend. Then we're going to roll out a big, huge jazz promotion contest. We'll talk about that later. I'm going to go back to Mr. Melvin Jones on Funky Town Shuffle. Wow. Mr. Melvin Jones, man, Miss Judy and I had a great time at Melvin Jones' quintet concert.
Fabulous last Friday
He
night.
showed his natural jazz material.
Yes, he did.
He really did. I mean, he broke a record actually for, I think it was the biggest number in attendance at Churchill Grounds.
Yes.
On Saturday, this last weekend. I mean, for those of you that don't know, I mean, I tell you, go friend him on Facebook, look up his videos, go and download his music, go and find his music, buy that CD. It's called Pivot. Listen, Melvin Jones is in consideration for 5 Grammy nominations. Pivot is a stellar CD. I mean, I listen to it every single day. As you can see, I use that as my theme music. That was Funky Town Shuffle from Mr. Melvin Jones, who was accompanied this weekend by Mace Hibbard. Now, Mace Hibbard he's bananas on sax, okay? Look, we had the time of our life this weekend. You,
Fabulous.
myself, and Uncle Bobby.
Like a concert. Yeah.
He was amazing. He always is amazing, but Melvin Jones, check him out. Melvin Jones trumpet player, MJQ, or the Melvin Jones Quintet. If you want to go look it up on the internet, anywhere, melvinjones.net. Major plug for Melvin. That was international. You're welcome. Anyway, so listen, before that, I wanted to talk last weekend about Sean Jones that came to Atlanta. He was a trumpet player, is a trumpet player, and I mean, banana show. Just, I mean, wonderful musicianship, entertainer, good stuff. And I mean, his whole entire thing was themed around love. I had a great time there, and that was at the, I was doing a cover for Best of Atlanta Concerts with my buddy Dior Metcalf, and I mean, I had a wonderful time. Brian Hogan's saxophone player, keyboardist, he is a wonderful saxophone player. It was a great show. I just had a great time. I want to send a personal shout out to my friend Londi and Queen Alexandra, who really showed out this weekend.
Oh, yes, I missed that show. Oh, I wish I could have been there.
We won't say where it was at.
I heard she rocked the house.
Miss Judy, I think we're going to roll into our next song. And this is a song that is by a young man. This is his first CD that he did. It's a Christmas CD, and he's a concert pianist. Young man, I don't even think he's 25 years old, Charles Duke. You'll hear it. The song is called Hello Christmas. And I mean, what we like to do now is to start to get feedback from people who are listening about jazz music. We want to incorporate you in boosting and promoting jazz. You'll learn more because we're going to learn about how we're going to start to promote some of the artists. And we have a big contest to help them do that, to help them get, the name out, help them get shows, help them do all sorts of things. So going into this next month in December, that's what I'm going to be focusing on, is promoting jazz artists. And I'm going to need the help of all the music community. So check this next song out, Hello Christmas by Charles Duke.
Hello, Christmas. The mistletoe and snow show me it's Christmas. Happiness and cheer are finally here. I haven't seen you since last year at Christmas. Ups and downs, with everybody running around so fast, forgetting how to love, forgetting how to care, but all that seems to change with Hello Christmas. Hello mistletoe and snow show me it's Christmas. Happiness and cheer finally here. Ooh, I haven't seen you since last year at Christmas. Ooh, candy apples, pecan pie, memories at dinner time. Shine as bright, sparkling lights surrounding all the family. Hello, Christmas. Hello, Christmas. The mistletoe and snow show me it's Christmas. Happiness and cheer are finally here. I haven't seen you since last year at Christmas.
The new Collabo Live 106.5 FM.
And we're back on Collabo Live 106.5 FM. You are on Go Live with Cairo Qween. We are now being joined in the studio, by Skype, all the way from Sydney, Australia, by Mr. Helmut Wolf. Everybody clap for Helmut Wolf. Yay! Helmut, we want to thank you for calling in and joining us. There may be a delay, everyone out in internet land. He is calling via Skype. So, Helmut, how are you?
Good. Greetings to from Sydney.
Wonderful. Helmut, I brought you into the conversation. What the hell is up with the jazz music industry? And what do you think the Band-Aid is? This is part 4. We're finalizing our conversation, but I figured we should go into the math and science of what is going on in jazz music. And given that you own Wolf Entertainment, which does distribution, I thought maybe you might want to tell people a little bit about what goes on in the jazz industry from your standpoint.
Well, look, I don't know if we can actually just talk about jazz industry because it's music industry in general, as far as I can see, which has made a major change or is in the process of making a major change, which is based on the digital, digital music, digital distribution. Whereas in the old days, the major record labels were in charge of how music is distributed, who can record, who can get their music into shops. Now it's a whole different ballgame because, everybody can record their own music with their own home studio, more or less, depending how good they are in their production skills. And then everybody can get their music into distribution through the online stores like iTunes, Amazon, and there are hundreds of them. So the whole thing is really in a major change, and nobody really knows what's the right way in the moment because we're all learning what is the right and what is the new way.
Correct. And I agree with you. What I would love for you to talk to us a little bit more about, we went over this once on a conversation via Skype and via my account, iBroadcast Events on Facebook. We were discussing iTunes. How has iTunes actually changed what it is that you do from a distribution standpoint? And can you give like a mathematic breakdown of how that actually occurs for, let's say, a brand new signing artist? Let's say someone like Sean O'Brien Smith. Sean O'Brien
Well,
Smith,
look,
we just played his song,
really,
and that was
it really
Let It
depends
Snow.
on how the person works. If they go directly to iTunes and they create an iTunes account, then they just put their music on iTunes and iTunes gets 30% of the sales. That's around there. That's what most shops are taking. And the artist gets the rest of whatever comes through. So they get 70% of sales. Again, the difference is now that anybody can get their music into the online distribution shops, whereas before they were totally dependent on the major labels who have the trucks, who have the warehouses, who have the deals with the shops, and who in that sense had an incredibly control on what actually goes to the market.
Right. Okay, so then how does that affect you adversely as far as being a distribution company? Is it working against you, or does it work in your benefit?
Well, in the old days, I'm a small distribution company. I couldn't have done it in the old days because the majors would have just not allowed me, or I wouldn't have had the finance anyway to get my music into all the shops, and you have to print if you want to carry your product into all these different territories. You've got to print thousands and thousands of CDs. You have to warehouse them. You have to have the deals with the shops. Again, the same thing. Now I have a distribution network that reaches 300 online stores.
Wow.
I give a few, which are all the major ones: iTunes, Amazon, Napster, Nokia, you name those, which are mostly international in all the different territories. But then we also have 10 shops in Germany and 12 in Denmark and 8 in New Zealand and so on. So the whole distribution system has completely changed.
I think it's opened up a floodgate for a lot more people to get in. And then you also have people that work here for you as agents and A&R reps here in Atlanta, don't you? No, excuse me, here in America, don't you?
Yeah, I've got right now three guys in the States, which is Larry O'Brien in Las Vegas and Head Boss in Virginia,
Yeah, boss.
and Wayne Mackey is in Chicago, and we just brought a new guy on board in England, Martin Callahan, for England and Europe, and in Germany I've got Udo Langer. So I've got some people out there who are scouting for talent. But again, why would somebody go with a company like Wolf Entertainment? Because we're taking a cut out of what comes through from the shops. So what do we give artists in return? What do we give them in return is exposure, working through network, getting them into our radio stations we're connected with, and getting them into the TV stations we're connected with. At the same time as we are growing as a company, we're creating an enormous amount of collaboration between the artists. So when artists are by themselves, what artists mostly forget nowadays is, okay, I've got 30 grand, I'm going to make an album. Great, now they work their ass off to they make an album, and now the album is ready, and now it's on iTunes. And then there are no finances, no know-how, no energy left to promote the album. And then what happens is, the album doesn't sell, artists get extremely frustrated, and it dies. And that happens all the time. So
Right.
what we do is, we just work with the artist to push them and push them and push them and push their product. And obviously we're a small company. We don't have millions of dollars to invest into promotion, but we use social networking. We use the contacts we have to radio stations like yourself and to some of the TV stations we're working with to get the product as visible as possible.
Okay. And so, and I mean, I can say this for myself, just, knowing a lot of artists that are here in the States, that a lot of them do go and create these projects over and over and over again. And I am always an advocate for having a product. But I see people go, like, for example, I know people who have made more than one project this year. And I'm thinking to myself, like, unless you have a major fan base that project is going out to, what is the point in creating more than one in a year if you haven't completely pushed the album that you currently have out? I mean, to me, I'm thinking, I know that you love the music and I know you want it out there, but then you want somebody to have it too, don't you?
It's exactly right what you're saying, which is, in other words, what I just said, and that is where artists need to really look at themselves to put some energy, time, and money in the promotion of their product, of their music. And it is just really impossible. I mean, through digital and through digital distribution and through home studios, anybody is now putting product on the market, but without a proper push, nobody will ever know about it. So you sell 5 tracks and that's it. So artists really have to come to grips with the fact that they not only have to invest their energy and their time and their money into the product itself and creating it, but they have to put energy, time, and money into promoting it. And
Absolutely.
that is a mammoth job. And to do that by yourself is pretty impossible.
I think
I mean, unless you're the daughter of, unless you're Taylor Swift, her father put $6 million in the promotion of her first album. $6 million,
because her father
and of
had
course
$6
it was a
million.
hit. Now her second album, she didn't have to promote anymore because she was already a hit. Okay, but so you need to consider as an artist really to put part of your budget that you have available, if any, into the promotion of your music.
And okay, saying that, what is a good promotional budget?
How long is a piece of string? It's very difficult.
I like that.
It is also really how much intelligence you're using, how networked you are. And again, there is no right or wrong way. You can put $30,000 in a radio campaign in the States, and you just scratch the surface. On another level, you can have a video clip on YouTube, and if people like it, it virals out, and suddenly you've got a hit. It is no right or wrong way. I think the only thing you can do is do your best and push as hard as you can.
Now that being said, I have to go into this thing that I always get onto, which are the numbers. So, does it do anything for an artist to have 200 or 300 fans, or does it do more to have 2 to 3 thousand, 200,000, fans when it comes to distributing your music? Now, I'm saying from a small scale, if I'm, Sean O'Brien Smith, if I'm him, and let's say that I've been doing a lot of promotion via shows, and my shows glean about 200 to 400 or 500 people, what numbers are you looking for in order for it to be profitable, marketable, and manageable as a distribution company? I mean, that's your job per se, correct? But what are we trying to attain as far as numbers?
It's again difficult to say. You can't put an exact number on something. What I look for as a distributor, as a label, I'm looking for talent. I'm looking for music that's really good. And if you look at the artists that are on Wolf Entertainment, they're all on a standard that is, in my eyes, outstanding. And I'm not bringing anybody to the label that's not on that standard. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to sell a whole lot of music. But I'm a musician and a producer myself, so I'm not in there only for the money. I'm in there also for developing the artist and for giving the artist a shot.
Okay, Helen.
So if somebody comes to me and says, I've got 100,000 fans, I'm like, hallelujah, that is awesome. Okay, let's just really work your fans. That's wonderful. If somebody comes to me and says, I have 500 fans, but they have really great music, I still go with it.
Now, that really great music, that's an issue. We're going to go into a really great song, Bésame Mucho, Kiss Me a Lot. This is Laura Coils featuring Melvin Jones on trumpet and Louis Haribo on keys. Bésame Mucho.
Bésame mucho. Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Bésame, bésame mucho. Hold me, my darling, and say that you'll always be mine. This joy is something new, my arms enfolding you. Never knew this thrill before. Who ever thought I'd be holding you close to me, whispering it's you I adore. Dearest one, if you should leave me, Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Bésame mucho. Hold me, my darling, and say that you'll always be mine. This joy is something new. My arms enfolding you. Never knew this thrill before. Whoever thought I'd be holding you close to me, whispering it's you I adore. Dearest one, if you should leave me, each little dream would take wing and my life would be through. Oh, bésame mucho. Love me forever and make all my dreams. Love me forever and make all my dreams. Love me forever and make all my dreams come true.
Fact. Lead poisoning is one of the leading environmental health risks facing children under the age of 6. Fact. More than 3 out of 4 homes built before 1978 contain some lead paint. Fact. You have the right to be told about lead paint in the home you rent or buy if it was built before 1978. You should receive written notification and a pamphlet from the landlord or seller. Call the National Safety Council at 1-800-424-LEAD.
If you like to get a spiritual word each and every Monday, it's Gospel Monday. From 6 to 7, we have Sister Mathis speak life. From 7 to 8, we have Pastor Peoples with the Straight Talk Hour. 8 to 9, we have Brother Blair with Irie ATL. 9 to 10 on Monday, we also have The Oracle.
When you're looking for a place to live, there's lots of things to do.
How many bathrooms? Where can I play?
Are there 3 bedrooms or 2? But you care about your family, so you gotta use your head. Know before you sign the deal and test the place for lead.
Lead poisoning is bad news. Lead can cause behavior problems and affect the way your kids learn. And lead can hurt babies before they're born. You can't see it, but lead can come from old water pipes, lead-glazed pottery, or contaminated soil. But most lead comes from paint. Before you buy or rent, you should know that 3 out of 4 homes and apartments built before 1978 contain some lead-based paint. But now there's a law that helps. Landlords and sellers must tell you about lead before you rent or buy. And if you're buying, you have time to test the home if you're concerned. You love your family, so use your head. Know before you sign the deal. Test the place for lead. For more information, call 1-800-424-LEAD. 1-800-424-LEAD. A message from the National Safety Council.
My twin brother David was killed in a car accident in rural Wisconsin. We had talked about organ donation, and knowing that those were his wishes, it wasn't scary. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
Share your decision to become an organ and tissue donor with your family today.
There was no question in our minds of what his wishes were, which really, I think, helped us as a family.
Organ and tissue donation. Call 1-800-355-SHARE for a free brochure.
Go live with Collabo Live. Cairo Qween. We're here on 106.5 FM. We are being joined in studio by the lovely Empress Miss Judy Eccles, my liaison for iBroadcast Entertainment. We're being joined via Skype all the way from Sydney, Australia, by Mr. Helmut Wolf of Wolf Entertainment. Now, Helmut, we just ended off with talking about some distribution things. What I'd like to do now is play some of your music. I think you wanted
Yeah,
to say a
cool.
little something about the music. We're going to go ahead into, I'm sorry, the Home Again song. And then we're going to go to Kwan Wan Kim's song, The Prayer. And you could tell us a little bit about that now.
Well, the Home Again I did quite a while ago. It's just a heartfelt song. You'll hear it. And Kang Won Kim is a very young sax player. He's only 21, 22 from Korea. And I came across him a while ago and I really fell in love with his smoothness of how the way he plays the sax. And I'm a sax player too, as you know. So he's kind of a brother and the other sax player on my label at the moment. So I really enjoy his music.
Right. Yeah, and by the way, Helmet is a musician also, so he's not just speaking from the distribution standpoint. He also, too, is a musician. So we're going to go into that now and cue that song up, and then we'll be back to talk to Miss Judy. Helmet, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Go Live with Cairo Qween, Collabo Live 106.5.
It's a pleasure. Nice to talk to you, Cairo.
106.5 FM.
Collabo Live 106.5 FM. This is Go Live with your girl, Cairo Qween. I'm joined in studio by the lovely and wonderful, fantastic, magnificent, awesome
Thank you, Cairo.
Judy Eccles.
Thank you. It is an honor and my pleasure to be sitting in with you.
Miss Judy, what the hell is up with the jazz music industry and what is the Band-Aid?
Monica, the only thing I can say is it's education. Maybe we're not getting the music out to the young folks. Now, when I was growing up, my dad and mom, they were jazz and blues lovers, and, you know, we listened to it all the time. It was all played out throughout the neighborhoods. Whenever we had our little parties, jazz and blues music was playing. So I grew up with jazz. I love jazz. Jazz soothes my soul.
Hey.
You know, a lot of times when I'm really stressing about something, you know, sometimes I can just put on, you know, John Coltrane, a little R&B, but it just kind of gets me in that right mood.
I think a lot of people have gone to, you know, the fact that, you know, the education is just gone. You know, there's nobody teaching or playing or, you know, but we're getting ready to remedy that. You know, we're actually going to form a global jazz alliance here shortly with a few of my friends across the globe. We actually started talking about that last week. You know, the Jazz Man, Fontaine Lewis Productions. We talked to a few people. Angela P. Moorthorpe. We talked with Denise Lopez. A lot of people who have, you know, we see the void and we like to fill it. There are a lot of things that are missing and absent from what could be the promotion of jazz music and the expanse of jazz music. I think a lot of people are not really sure, like, what to do with it. Somebody told me earlier today that I like to glamorize jazz music, and I always thought jazz music had a hint of glamour to it, even though, you know, it did hit, you know, the Chitlin circuit, you know, and I understand that. Oh, we have a caller coming in. I want to see who that caller is. Hey, caller, thanks for calling Collabo Live 106.5 FM. You're on Go Live with Cairo Qween. Who am I speaking to? Oh, they hung up? They might have. Maybe they'll call back. Okay, well, anyway, you know, we want to, you know, try and do something globally for jazz, you know, to draw attention to jazz and our artists, to promote these artists, not just to force them to promote themselves, but to really, you know, try and do something on a collaborative a collaborative initiative where we all, you know, hands of jazz, whatever that may be, people who play, people who promote, people who manage, people who book, people who play the harmonica. No, but, you know, anybody who's interested, just like Harmony Jazz Alliance, just on a bigger expanse where everybody can get involved. If you have a 5-year-old kid that loves jazz music and maybe wants to play a trumpet,
absolutely.
We really want to feed into that. We really want to meet that need where there's, you know, the emptiness of jazz, you know, people who love jazz, people who don't come out to jazz, bring them back out, you know, get them to pay and entertain our jazz musicians. And keep this love going, keep the experience of the culture of jazz going. And not so much to glamorize it, but to draw attention to it. I see the reason I do the glamorization of everything is because I think people see the bling, and that's what hip-hop did, is it brought a lot of bling. Thanks for calling Collabo Live 106.5 FM caller. Who am I speaking with? Go Live with Cairo Qween.
Jabari Grover.
Hey, it's Jabari Grover. Hey, Jabari Grover is our celebrity caller for today. Well, he's a celebrity to me. Jabari, tell everybody who you are, who you used to be, and what you're doing right now.
Well, I've started out as a songwriter and wrote some songs for the R&B pop group, Color Me Bad, 90s group, as well as a few songs for jazz saxophonist Walter Beasley. And performed concerts as an opening act for Shaka Khan, you name it, Roy Ayers in the jazz and R&B world. as well as on several concerts and festivals throughout the country as well as Japan. That's who I am.
Jabari, can you go like all alone on a Sunday morning? No, I'm joking. I'm messing with you. Jabari, I invited Jabari Grover, and thank you for calling in. I invited Jabari Grover because I think we're going to do some collaborative initiatives going forward in the future, but I really want to have Jabari talk to our listening audience about booking. And from the standpoint in which you book on a higher level than what I do. So, I thought you might be able to explain what it is that you feel is going on with jazz music and, what's the remedy to this situation. I noticed something that you posted on Facebook. You can go into that first if you like, something that Martin Luther King said.
Yeah, I'm speaking of the nature of jazz and the music, for the foundation of the music and what it does for what it has done for our society in our community as African Americans, and what we've been able to give the world through jazz music, blues, as well as gospel, and just talked about how it's an uplifting music, it's a triumphant music, and it is our numerous of struggles and challenges, and I believe that his words from the speech, he gave the speech in 1964 at the Berlin Jazz Festival, just talking about the importance of jazz music and the effect it's had on the world. And I believe that it's still relevant today.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go look for a little bit of what it was that he said. It's still up on my Facebook page. Maybe I can read. There was a part that really just kind of hit home for me. Probably should have had it pulled up. But what do you think that, what are you feeling that's wrong with jazz right now? As far as like, and I shouldn't say jazz, but jazz, the industry. What could we do to better jazz music as an industry?
Well, the industry itself, I think we have to take it out of the realm of the collegiate realm. What I mean by that is making it so cerebral. I mean, it is a very mental music, but at the same time, it turns a lot of people away when we try to dissect it and give all these theories about it. The origin of the music, it got you out dancing and on the dance floor.
Wow.
It was entertaining.
It did what? It got you out doing what?
Yeah, that's something we don't see today.
You don't see that.
I'm sitting here with my 20-year-old friend here, and she experienced jazz from the dancing standpoint herself. And I think every time we do shows, you will always see Miss Judy out dancing, because that's what Miss Judy likes to do.
Absolutely.
And I feel like jazz had that energy, and it still does. I don't think it always has to be like a funeral show. I think, and that's a lot of what I believe drives people away, is a lack of excitement. And granted, listening is wonderful. I love to listen to, we had Melvin Jones this weekend, Mace Hibbert.
Yes.
Fantastic show. Love hearing. And they put on a stellar performance on top of just listening. It wasn't just that we were sitting there and taking it in, because, he is a great performer. What was that noise? What we want to, try and do is get, more people into performing, entertaining, engaging the audience, making people, feel like they're enjoying the show, not just that I'm here to play and this is my instrument.
Right. It's back to the church, the call and response.
Yes.
And that's the vibe and the inviting vibe that the artist has to bring back to the performance. Some people, when you think about Miles Davis and his character on stage, and his delivery, well, a lot of people don't realize even him turning his back was entertaining, so to speak. it was a mysticism that existed with his performance, and but he could do that. He could get away with that.
Right.
But when he turned around and he did decide to speak, that was entertaining. And the thing about it is that we really have to engage the audience, not that they're in a workshop every time we go to perform, but they're coming out to be entertained. And when you think of the Count Basies, the Duke Ellingtons, I mean, they had you dancing.
Yes.
It was entertainment.
Yes. Yes.
So I think we need to get back to that in jazz. And that's, to me, that's the only saving point to jazz, I believe.
I think, I try to get many different opinions in and try to get a lot of people in to talk about this, because I don't think a lot of musicians understand from the listening audience standpoint the reason why people are not coming out. And I keep hearing the same two things. Wait a minute, we have another caller. Let's see, get that call. Thanks, caller, for calling into Collabo Live 106.5 FM. Go live with Cairo Qween. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Cairo, this is Denise. What's up?
This is who?
Denise.
Hi, Denise. It's Denise Lopez, all the way from Texas.
What's up, girl? What are we discussing?
We are discussing what the hell is up with the jazz music industry and what is the Band-Aid. Right now, we're talking about how jazz used to make people dance. And, it's funny that Denise called in. We just mentioned the whole entire global initiative for promoting jazz music that we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
And I was talking to Denise. And, Denise, do you want to, go ahead into what the conversation was earlier?
Basically, it's about uniting artists and promoters and managers, where we are all under one umbrella and we are all a network collectively. And so it gives the artists a chance to get more exposure. It gives us a chance to promote artists, musicians, etc., for the benefit of exposure all the way around. This way everybody knows each other. They don't have to connect through their record labels because some of them don't have record labels. Some of them are independent artists. And the information that will be available will be about concerts they can participate in, gigs, and all types of, resources that will be made available to them for the benefit of, them being able to reach out and connect with each other. Sort of like a universal platform.
A universal platform for jazz, and I think that's something that we're missing. What do you think about that, Jabari?
Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea.
I definitely think it's something that we're missing, because I don't feel like there is anything that's really collective for jazz. I think everything is separated, and I'm kind of like, maybe that's what we need to do, is bring everybody in to one unit and then push everybody collectively as jazz.
Well, the thing is, what it does, it brings the artists that are known, that's already out there, who made a name for themselves, to take the unknown as mentors. Because the unknowns are the ones who need to be mentored. The musicians need mentoring to get to artist level. And so if there's a way to bridge that gap without involving record companies, because we don't want them to feel like just because you don't have a record deal, you're not worthy. Mm-hmm. You're a musician, you have talent, you have ability, you're marketable. So therefore, you should get same type of exposure.
And we have tons of artists that are just, stellar.
Out there.
I keep throwing in Sean O'Brien Smith, who I seem to have a lot of love for today, He might be coming out of my mouth.
But see, Sean's like that. That's the problem. If everybody was like Sean,
in fact, if everybody did what Sean did, I promise you, every jazz musician in the country would probably be famous. And he's on his way very quickly.
But look what it does for Sean. It continues to allow him to grow and continue to exist because of who he's bringing along. If you don't help anyone, you die.
Wow.
You know, I don't mean to make it sound so, you know, but that's what happens. I mean, life is in your legacy and your branches that you grow.
Given it shall be given.
Oh, Jabari, well stated.
Yes.
Well stated, and it's true. I mean, he puts out the effort to put himself out there with other people.
Right.
And you know, not a lot of artists or musicians, they do that. For example, artists that have a name, and Cairo, you know, you and I were talking about that today. The ones that have a name, it's like, okay, I am this big. Excuse me, but you know, being this big doesn't mean you can't become bigger. So you're never really too big to reach back, and you know, that's what we are hoping to bring with this network. That, you know, be able to reach back and pull each other up, because you know, there's a lot of up and coming artists. You know, what's the purpose of students studying music for 4, 5, 6 years and earning a degree and earning the stats behind it and not going anywhere with it?
Wow.
And that's because they don't have the support they need.
Okay, well, let me go into another song.
The record industry is not going to give it to them.
I'm going to go into a song, and this
what
song...
What record industry?
There are no more records, are there?
Okay, well, you know, I'm trying to keep it. I am trying to keep it on a nice subject, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not to insult anybody, but in a sense, you know.
Everybody, we're going to go. Hold on one second. We're going to play a song, and this song is by Joe Granston's Big Band. Everybody has to see Joe Granston's Big Band show. That's coming up on this first Monday of December. Joe Granston puts on an awesome show with 16 pieces at Cafe 290 on Mondays, first and third Mondays. So this Christmas, since we're in our holiday season, ho, 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 we're going to go ahead and kick it to this Christmas.
Mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together, girl. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer. And you. As I look around, your eyes outshine the town, they do. Oh, the fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. And as I look around, your eyes outshine the town. Yes, they do.
fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a really special Christmas for me.
106.5 FM.
We're back on Go Live with Cairo Qween on Collabo Live 106.5 FM. Don't forget that after this show, the Cougars Den is going to be up with Diva Deb. I want to send a special shout out to the people out there in the Bronx and Manhattan on Rhythm Up 107.3 and at the Heavy 92.7 in Miami. Everybody in Atlanta 106.5, I love you for listening. I'm being joined right now by Jabari Grover, booking agent and celebrity talent, calling in for us, and Miss Denise Lopez, who is networking queen for jazz. I love her because she is a plethora of information. And we're in studio with Miss Judy, but I was actually called by one of my favorite people in the universe, the full influence for me ever even knowing anything about jazz ever in my lifetime, my ex. Tony Exum Jr. is on the line, calling from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, that's not
Long story
real good.
to
Your
that.
ex. Oh, wow. Facebook is going to blow up on that one.
I'm not lying.
Yeah.
So Tony Exum is a smooth jazz saxophone player. He's a stellar musician. We grew up in Colorado Springs together. I just told on myself. But anyway, we grew up together in the band, and he always has been a great saxophone player. Right now, he's sax god out there. That didn't sound good, but he's a saxophone god out in Colorado, and he's actually getting a lot of coverage, you know, nationwide, and I'm really proud of you. I love you to death, and the one day that I don't have your song in rotation, you call.
What's up with that?
You know, my song is Finally. That's my song, Finally.
Send me his music. And I've got some people I'll hit up and get them in rotation in other places.
Praise God.
Spread out.
Yes.
Thank you.
You don't have
That's
to do that. We
wonderful.
all in the same game.
All in the same
That's
boat
right.
together.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. Tony, tell everybody what you have coming up. It's at Blues Alley.
Yes, myself and Atlanta-based saxophonist D. Lucas, we've teamed up, and we're going to be doing a George Howard and Art Porter show called Just for Art and George. And our first date is January 3rd at Blues Alley in Washington, D.C. Two shows, I think it's 8 and 10 p.m. Tickets are like $25. And they're on sale now on bluesalley.com. And we got Washington, D.C.'s own Phase 2 as our back in bed. So it's going to be hot.
That's going to be awesome.
Should make that.
Oh, Miss Judy said we're going up there.
Oh, yes. We can do
It looks
that.
like we have a Denver date, too, at my beloved Jazz and Jacks, where I play all the time.
Jazz
That's
and
February
Jacks.
26th. So we're working on that. And I
And
think
what
we
date
got a
was that?
Birmingham date coming up. So anybody who's interested in seeing a show like that, we just felt like, just to say this real quick, you know, there's always the Grover tributes, which they should be, because Grover is one of the reasons why we're all here. But I just felt like, you know, George Howard, who came up under Grover, a lot of people don't know that he actually opened up for Grover on a tour back in the late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, George had like 13, 14 albums out. He was one of the pioneers of this thing that they began to call smooth jazz. And there's never been any tributes other than a few songs that have been out to George, which is like, you know, a travesty to me, because my soprano sound was modeled kind of after George Howard. I've been called George Jr. a million times, and I don't try to be just like him, but I embraced his music so much that I almost, through some kind of like osmosis, I just started to kind of sound like him. I wasn't really trying to. And then Art Porter was a beast. Art Porter was one of the best players around. I had a chance to see him on a concert with Gerald Albright in Denver when I was in college, and Art Porter, like Gerald, had people on their feet. He was such a showman, such a great musician, and he, you know, of course, was taken away from us way too soon. He would probably be, you know, at the top right now if he was still here. You know, definitely have a whole school of saxophone players probably following him. So I thought, you know, why don't we put those two together? They're kind of unsung, but not unsung, I guess. And D thought it was a good idea, so that's how it kind of came about. And Blues Alley jumped right on it. Both of us have played Blues Alley in the past. We've done well there, so they were very eager to get us started there. So.
Well, Tony Exum, we're really glad you called in. We're probably going to go into two R&B cuts that I decided to add to the show today, and because these are local artists that I deal with. One is Farrah Lisa, and she's sort of like a Beyonce sound. She has world music, that's what she calls it, world music. And then after that is Kermit Quinn. And I think everybody in Atlanta knows who Kermit Quinn is. And this is his Christmas song called This Christmas. But we're going to play those two songs first. We'll probably come back and finish it out with Rule of Six. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Stay on the line. I may be able to get a little more chat in because I definitely want to hear what you think is wrong with the jazz music industry. And I have to plug our promotion for the month of December. So let's go ahead and get those songs real quick.
Cool. Sounds good.
You should know that you got me committed, and I'm ready to say you are my light, you are my style. Take me to another galaxy, bring me away to a secret place with you, or even outer space I can face with you. I will be your love to infinity. I will show you love to infinity. I will give you love to infinity, infinity and beyond. I will be your love to infinity. I will show you love to infinity. I will give you love to infinity, infinity and beyond. Wait, it's like time has stopped and I can't be dropped by your energy aura. Your aura shines so bright, that's further light years. I hear love's knocking on my door, on my heart, on my window. I know it's gonna be you and me for eternity. It's our destiny for infinity. I will be your love to infinity. I will show you love. I will show you love to infinity. I will give you love. I will give you love to infinity, infinity and beyond. I will be your love to infinity. I will show you love to infinity. See, I will give you love to infinity, oh, to infinity, infinity and beyond. You don't have to ask around. You don't have to search in corners of the world. My love is found. It's what makes life so sweet. I'll keep loving till the day I die. Better yet, my love will get much stronger. So don't worry about your supply, 'cause my love surpasses love to infinity. I will show you love. Yeah, I will show you love, baby. I will give you love, yeah, to infinity, to infinity, to infinity. I will give you love to infinity. I will show you love to infinity. See, I will give you love to infinity, to infinity, yeah. I will give you love to infinity. I will show you love. I will show you love. I will give you love to infinity, to infinity, to infinity. I will be your love to infinity. See, I will show you love to infinity, and I will give you love to infinity,
Yeah. I just want to send a very Merry Christmas out there to all the families struggling this year. All my people. I know it's hard for you out there. It's gonna get better. Keep your heads up. Check it. Hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me, yeah. Ooh, very special Christmas, yeah. Presents and cards are here. My whole world is filled with cheer this year. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town, they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas, it will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Oh, a very special Christmas. I know it's gonna be, I know it's gonna be, yeah, yeah.
Collabo Live 106.5 FM. This is Go Live with Cairo Qween, and we're online with Mr. Tony Exum, Mr. Jabari Grover, and Miss Denise Lopez, joined in the studio by Miss Judy Eccles. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the studio, listening to the show. Thank you for all the callers. Thank you to everybody who's listening out in the audience. I love you. Please continue to watch and support anything that has live jazz on it, but my show in particular. Support Collabo Live 106.5 FM, Rhythm Up 107.3, and the Heavy down in Miami at 92.7. Listen, I'm going to go into a little Latin jazz, but I need to have this little conversation piece first. This is the close of What the Hell is Up with Jazz Music? And what is the Band-Aid? That was part 1, which was the money. Part 2, the venues. Part 3, the promoters. And now part 4, the math and the science. We're going next week to start an email address that you all are going to be sending your music to, because we're going to start a promotion. And the promotion is to get all of you jazz heads to start promoting your own music. Now, how that's going to work is you're going to have your fans send me your request for a song. Now, whatever song you like and you want to get played on the radio, you're going to have your fans call in and vote. They're going to call a number, and then they're going to send an email. Please check out my Facebook, because they're going to have to friend me on Facebook. That's Cairo Qween, Cairo space Qween. And you can also have to go on Collabo Live Music or Collabo Music on Facebook and like that page. Now, what we're going to do is have you promote. Guess what the prizes are? There are going to be some travel trips. There's going to be a $1,000 giveaway. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. The mixtape that comes out for Collabo Music. We're going to be putting your music out, and we're even going to do a show for you. And guess who's going to promote it? Us. Now, big stuff. So, listen, we're going right now into Bakuda by Rua 6. I want to plug the wonderful show that we do at Churchill Grounds every second and fourth Sunday, which is Latin Jazz. It's real live Latin jazz at Churchill Grounds every second and fourth Sunday. You have to be a part of that. We learn how to dance from Millie Song, and this is another Latin jazz group that's here in Atlanta. They do a little South American Brazilian sound, and we love them for that. So let's go ahead into that. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and please, please, please check us out next week, same time, same place. Go live.
Very special Christmas. Capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Paranauê, Paranauê, Paraná. Na terra de São Salvador, capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Capoeira é jogo praticado na terra de São Salvador. Paranauê, Paranauê, Paraná. Quero ver bater, quero ver cair.